Do you want to build a non-conformance report that not only tracks the investigations and root causes, but also the output of the corrective and preventative actions? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that on a step-by-step basis. My name's Dougie Wood and I'm a Microsoft MVP. I've been working with SharePoint for the past 15 years, and I've also been building out for the past 5 years quality management systems using SharePoint to help people with ISO 9001. So let's dive in and look at how you can build an NCR system using SharePoint. Okay, so we're going to start off by building out a SharePoint site. Now I'm going to create a communication site. I'm going to call this my non-conformance management site. Now, I would give it a bit of a description as well, just so it's obvious what it is to any SharePoint admins that might come across the site, of what it is and what it's going to be used for. Now, this site is actually going to be created of a number of different lists, and they're going to be looking up the different lists to pull information from each other. The main list is going to be the NCR Register, which is what is going to give us our NCR ID. We're also going to have a list for our investigation log and root cause analysis, which is going to pull the ID of NCR Register. And we're also going to have a separate list for our corrective and preventative actions that come from our NCR records. So again, I'm just going to go into creating a new list. Corrective and Preventive Actions. It's worth mentioning as well as you can create SharePoint lists from Excel spreadsheets. So a lot of companies I work with already have a lot of these columns and data already ready in Excel spreadsheets, and they just create the SharePoint list directly from that. So you can do that as well. It's worth adding the default ID column. So for the NCR register, which is going to be our master kind of list, which is going to give us our master NCR number, we're going to use the default ID field. So every new item we create in SharePoint always has a default ID. So we're going to use that as our NCR. I've also added in the created and the created by, so I can see when it was created and who created it. I'm going to also add some of my own columns. Now we can completely customize this however you like, but typically you would have things like your department to tag, whether it's production, quality, supplier, warehouse, or any other types of options you like. You can also color code them, but if the colors don't mean much to you, I'd probably go with a single color throughout, just so it doesn't get confusing and look a bit messy once you start adding in data. I'm also going to add in a single line of text, which is going to be product, but this could be, again, a lookup, or we could pull this in from another system. I'm going to add in another column for supplier or customer. This, again, could be a single line of text. Only add this, obviously, if it's going to be relevant to what you're doing. So you don't necessarily need to make it required. You'd also want to have a description, which would be multiple lines of text, because it's going to be, obviously, quite a bit of text you're likely going to be documenting. Typically, we'd see having some form of severity. So often the automations like Power Automate will use this and base any kind of SLAs and escalations based on that. So we can have different choices in here, but typically it would be minor, major, and critical. Again, we can color code these just a bit more obvious. Obviously, if it's a bit more important, we're going to make critical red. And the default is minor. Most of these will be minor, but obviously we can escalate these if we wanted to. We're also going to add in a column field here. So this could be our status. So we're going to have a choice field, which will have either open, investigation, as in it's pending investigation, it's under investigation, or it's closed, it's complete. Again, color code these as well. Now we want to default it to open, because anything we create in here is more than likely it's going to be open when you first add an item to NCR register. So to save people the time of actually going and actually tagging that from a drop down, you can just default to it. Now this is what the new NCR form would look like. We've got all those fields that we just created in as columns before, so we can start populating this. And I've just come up with just some examples in here of potentially it's a product related, it's our production line, the supplier. I put in the supplier name here, and I've also prefixed it with supplier just to make it obvious that it is a supplier. Again, it could be a checkbox that you say, is this a supplier? Yes, no. Is it a customer? It could be a choice drop down. So you can split that data out even easier if you wanted to. Now we've got a bit of data into NCR register. I'm going to go in and start looking at my investigation log, which will also be where any root causes are documented against an NCR as well. Again, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to add the ID because I want an ID. So any of the investigations which go on, I want to make sure they have their own ID. But I also want to look up the NCR ID. So to do this, I'm going to use a lookup column. I'm going to look up the NCR register, and I'm going to pull through the ID, which basically just means not only do I have an ID for the actual investigation record, but I'm also tagging it against an NCR as well. I'm going to add some more columns in here. So I'm going to have things like an investigation lead, which will be a people field to look up somebody based on their name, and we can pull through their details, phone numbers, email address from that information as well if we wanted to. It's totally up to you, these columns, by the way. We can completely customize this. A lot of my customers have completely different columns in here, but these are the most commonly used ones that I'm putting in this system. Root cause category. So typically, again, we can change this, but it might be human, machine, method, material, environment, measurement. We can color code these as well if you wanted to, but again, if it doesn't really make much difference, I would just put them all as the same color to avoid any form of confusion. Then we're going to add another choice column, and this is going to be our investigation method. Now again, you might only use one method, you might use multiple methods, but here we can tag things like 5 whys, fishbone, things like that as different investigation methods that were used during to get that investigation log. We're also going to use multiple lines of text to give a description of our root cause. So basically our root cause description can be documented. We're going to have a date field, which could also include the time if we wanted to have our date completed. And as I say, within reason, you can add whatever columns you like within here. And this is what our form looks like. You can see it's pulled through that NCR ID that we had before. So we created an NCR record before. So it's just got the ID of 1. We can tag out investigation lead, which I've tagged George in here. Got a root cause method, investigation methods, root cause description. When we have that, so I'm just going to paste in a little example that I created earlier. Any attachments, pictures, photos, documents, anything like that, we can attach. The other cool thing is you can also click on the NCR ID if you're wondering what it relates to, and you can open up the full NCR report to see the full details against that as well. I'd typically give it a title as well, so I missed that off when I had it in the form, but you can also quick edit it in the grid view as well. So maybe that's a supplier investigation. Now I paused this whilst I created a bunch more investigation logs, so you can see what this now looks like. There's loads of information in here, so I like to create plenty of dummy data inside of my lists, which actually I just used Microsoft Copilot to generate a bunch of different ideas of what I could put into here based on previous kind of projects that we've run before. If you're interested in this system, then we do deploy it at a fixed price to our customers. Get in touch for a free demo using the link in the description below. Now I've got plenty of data in here. I'm going to start now with my corrective and preventive actions list, sometimes referred to as a CAPA list. And this is where I'm starting to pull through. Again, I want an ID. I want to have the ID of the actual action itself, but also, again, I'm using a lookup column to pull through the NCR ID as well. I'm also going to use a lookup to pull through the investigation ID. So say, for example, not always, but if a corrective action or preventative action comes from some investigation, we can tag it. So we can tag what actual investigation led to this corrective or preventive action to be documented. We're also going to add in some additional columns for things like the action description and the action type. So this is, for example, a correction, a corrective action, preventative action. And again, this is something we can use later to filter, so we could see all corrective actions or preventative actions, maybe do some analysis on how many of each type that we get. I'm also going to add a people field, so who's assigned to, so who's the actual person that's going to be looking for it. Again, you could filter this by me to see which ones are assigned to you. A target date. Now this is typically where we'd have Power Automate or some sort of automation tool automatically assign a target date based on the severity that we set of the NCR earlier on. In the choices field, we would typically have for the status not started, in progress, completed, as well as that verified, so that you know it's definitely done and it's sort of ticked off. It's kind of that sort of final bit. We also want to default that to not started, because again, any action which we place in here, typically it will start off as it's not started, it's not being completed. So again, to save time, we default it to that column as well.
I'm also going to add a people field called verified by, so we know exactly who verified this as well. Again, so if there's any kind of issues or anything afterwards, we can come back and we can actually see not only who was it assigned to complete that action, but also who verified it as well. So these are all things that we typically document inside of our corrective preventive action. This is what our form looks like. So again, we would typically put in some kind of title in here. We would tag the NCR ID, the investigation ID if there is one. Again, just putting in our title into here. We've got our action description, the action type, who it's assigned to, the target date, which I say quite often we can automate this, so we can automatically populate this based on the severity. And then by creating that, you can see the status is automatically not started because that is what it is defaulting that particular column to. I'm just going to go ahead and create a bunch of additional corrective and preventive actions because I want to basically have plenty of data in here so I can see what this looks like. You can see we can add, as I say, any columns we like within here. These are just the most common columns that we tend to see. But within reason, you can have as many as you like. I wouldn't go too crazy with it though, because obviously, as you see, it is a case of manually having to fill these information out. We can attach different documents. We can look up information. We could pull through documents that are created or tagged documents. We could pull through other kind of lists of information. There's so many different things that you could do as a part of this kind of corrective preventative actions. Because it's on SharePoint, it's really easy to access. You can access this on any device. It's really simple. And then once you've got a bit of data in here, we might want to choose to kind of move these columns around a little bit. So I like to have all of my ID numbers right at the beginning. So the ID for the current list item we're looking at, plus the NCR ID, the investigation ID. But you can then filter. Say, for example, you wanted to filter by to find everything related to bracket scratches or whatever for that particular NCR ID. We could filter by the NCR ID and it'll pull through all the corrective actions. Same goes as well in the investigation log and the root cause as well. So if I want to filter by the investigation log, ID 1, that will then pull through and show me all of the actions which relate to that particular log as well. We can group, so we can group by the different IDs. So we can group and put all the corrective actions together. So all of the actions related to a particular NCR ID are all in one place. We can also save views. So this might be our pending verification. So we've filtered by everything where status is equal to complete. So these are everything which is pending verification. Then that gives us a unique URL. So we could go back to our SharePoint tiles, buttons or drop-down navigations, and we could add a button to say, take me to everything where there's actions pending verification. We can publish that, and then with that, click of a button, that takes us directly to all of our corrective and preventive actions, which the status is complete, basically meaning it's got it's waiting for that. That's where obviously someone would then say, yep, the status is now verified, who verified it, and you can even put any comments against this as well. So you can say, I've looked at this and I'm happy to verify it's complete. It's got the exact date, time, and everything that took place. That's all in one place. So NCR log, investigation log, this is tied to the NCR log, our corrective and preventive actions, which should be tied to NCR, as well as our investigation IDs as well.
If you enjoyed that video, please do subscribe. Also, continue to watch me build out a QMS in SharePoint by clicking on the video on the screen now. See you there.